Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and my channel is all about my cross-stitching adventures as well as my other crafting endeavors and the books that I read. In today's video I've got a good amount of cross-stitching. I've got a little bit of crochet, got a tiny bit of sewing, and I've got a lot of stuff that I made on my Cricut. So stick around, see what I have to say. If you want to jump to any of the sections, I will leave timestamps in the description below, or I think you can scroll along the video player and you can find the timestamps there as well. And if you've been here before, you know that I work in theater, and I like to start my videos out with a little theater fun fact. So today's theater fun fact is about the show Spamalot, and I actually had the fortune of working on the show 2 summers ago. It is such a hilarious show. I had so much fun working on it. Spamalot is also known as Monty Python's Spamalot, a musical lovingly ripped off from the motion picture Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The music is by John Duprez and Eric Idle, and the lyrics and book is by Eric Idle. It premiered in 2004 in Chicago and opened on Broadway in 2005. And it had a Broadway revival in 2023, which had a lot of famous people in it, if I recall. But it has been nominated for a total of 14 Tony Awards, and it has won 3, including Best Musical when it first opened. And Tim Curry starred in it as King Arthur in the original Broadway cast and on the West End. A little cute little fun story from when I did the show. So I did the show at a theater that has a raked stage. A raked stage is basically where the front of the stage and the back of the stage are on an incline. That's where you get the term upstage and downstage from, because audiences used to be flat, and so in order for the audience to see everything, the performers needed to be on a rake. Now it's reversed. Now the audience is on a rake and the performers are flat. It's a lot safer that way most of the time. If the show is not designed to be on a raked stage, it is very unsafe to put it on a raked stage. But you can also have a lot of very safe shows on a raked stage. I've done a lot of them. But, so, our Knight of Knee was originally supposed to be on stilts. And he practiced a bunch, but because in that theater we only tech, including our dress rehearsal, for a total of 10 hours. So we did not have the time for him to properly and safely practice the stilts on the raked stage, so we decided to cut them. But I still got to have fun and try them on, so I will put a picture here of me in the stilts with the Knight of Knee head, mask thing on. It was so much fun. I also was in a costume for that show as the ASM backstage, assistant stage manager. And I ended up on stage every night because in order to give us more time for a transition, I would go out and hand the Lady of the Lake a bouquet of flowers after her big number, and then would scooch back through the main curtain at the center and then would exit the stage, and oftentimes the curtain would start rising before I was off the stage. You know, all fun and games in Spamalot world. But that show was really fun. I had an absolute blast working on that show. Hopefully I'll get to work on it again someday. But so, and as you might have noticed, my appearance changed a little bit. I got a haircut. It is a whole lot shorter if you've been here. My hair used to be down below my waist. It was very, very long. I don't know if you guys ever really saw how long it was in any of the videos, but now it's nice and short. It will not be staying straight. This is from the hairdresser. I do not ever straighten my hair, but I think it looks really good this way too. Well, alright, now on to the cross-stitching. And today I have stats for you. I said I would try to be a little better about it, and I was. So I have my notes down here, so pardon me while I look at my stats. So, since my last video, I have stitched a total of 12 days. I have had 1 fully finished object. I have had 3 new starts, and I have stitched a total of 5,781 stitches, approximately. I will get to that when you see the whips works in progress, because not all of them I can track. And I have worked on a total of 6 projects. So how I was able to give you all of these stats, I did not write them down as I went. That is horrible. I use Markup RXP for 98% of my projects. I love it. It's so easy. I can get almost everything in there with some finagling. And including my Nora Corbett that I have yet to start. Ava, one of the Bewitching Pixies, whose pattern is up there. And I was also able to get my Mad Tea Party in there, again with a little bit of finagling and a lot of work. But I then was able to put the number of stitches I stitched into Notion. And I use the Notion like template that Elizabeth from Frizzy Lizzy Stitches like created and was so kind to share with everybody. And she has a video where she goes all over all of that. I will tag her down below so you can easily find her in those videos if you care to use Notion. I think it's really easy to track my projects. I have really enjoyed using Notion. I started out by using a Google spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet that I started one on my own, and then I wanted something to more easily track my threads, so then I found the Lord Libden. I'll link the website down below. And he has a like whole spreadsheet that is super great about tracking all of the threads and giving you a whole bunch of stuff. It's fantastic. Definitely check it out if you're a spreadsheet person. Being a stage manager, I love my spreadsheets. But yeah, so I will link that below. So I started with that, and then when I saw Elizabeth's video on Notion, I had started using it to track my tour stuff, and then I decided, why don't I use it for cross stitch too? So now I still use both of them. And I did some edits to both of them, so they better fit what I wanted to track and how I wanted to track it. But either way, I will link both of those things down below because they are fantastic. They are great. Also, Elizabeth has some great videos, and I love all of her projects too, so go check her out. But now, on to my cross stitches. So we will start with my fully finished object. And this is a stitch you saw finished in my last video, but now it's fully finished. This is my pattern. It is the Pet Semetary bookmark, obviously based off of the Stephen King book, but it is a nice little bookmark, and I put some felt on the back. I will give you a little secret. How I finished this was I have some like stiffer interfacing that I put on my project bags. I have a thinner one that I put on my cross stitches that go in my scrapbook. But I put the stiffer one in this, and then I literally just folded over the edges and taped them down, and then I hot glued this to the black felt, and then I cut the felt out. It's not perfect, but you know what? It will do, and it's pretty, and I love it. And I'll just show you it against my copy of Pet Semetary. Like I said in my last video, this is the book that really got me into reading, and I am so fortunate that I did, because I have always loved to read, and, you know, college happens, and then you're required to do reading, and that's terrible, and I hated that. But now I'm reading for fun, and I use Fable. You can friend me on Fable, see what each other reads if you'd like. I have had I have read every single day this year. I am so proud of that. So proud of myself, especially with some of the days that I've had. Even if it's just like 2 minutes of reading, I've still read. But yeah, look how cute this is, and it's like the perfect height. A cute little bookmark. Let me put it in the book. Yeah, just stick out. I probably will never use this as a real bookmark because I don't use bookmarks like this. I usually just use a post-it note, which, no, the post-it note is not still in this book. Usually I leave them in the books. But yeah, so there you go. There is the fully finished Pet Semetary by Stephen King bookmark. And this is now available on my Etsy shop. And this book lives just right here. Not too far away with my other books that I've read. But yeah, alright. On to the next. Next we have a new start. So if you follow me on Instagram, you have probably already seen this because I post, and you look at my stories, you've probably already seen this because I, when I started it, I posted it on my stories. And this is Cherry Blossom from DMC. This is what it will look like when it's fully finished. And this is on a 28 count antique white Lugana from Zweigart. And this is the very first time I am ever using an even weave. And it's 2/2, so it's 2 threads of DMC over like two like squares of the even weave. 2 thread, you know what I mean, hopefully. But so I have really enjoyed this. The reason I picked this pattern because I wanted a pattern that had a lot of like half crosses and like 3/4 stitches, because that's, I feel like, what would be beneficial on an even weave, instead of, because all I've ever worked on before this was Aida, and I just usually have a sharper needle that I use when I've got a lot of 1/4 and 3/4 stitches and whatnot. And I enjoy it for that. But I made a mistake at some point in this, but I was able to fix it. And so I had started like right in like this section here, and then I had like gone up, and then I had like come back down, and when I came back down, I realized that like I was literally half a stitch off. And there was no saving it. There was absolutely no saving it. So I undid it and then redid it. And I think it looks great. I have not worked on this in a while. Not for any particular reason, just because I've been working on other things, as you will see. But yeah, this is Cherry Blossom. And I really love it. I'm not using all of the called for colors because some of those colors were in other projects and I didn't want to have to deal with taking them out of that project just for this one. So I just pulled different ones that were close and looked good together. Yeah, there you go. And this very much does not fit in the bag that I chose because, yeah. Okay. Next, we have Mad Tea Party by Bella Filipina. Let me take this out. And I did indeed stop in the middle of a row. But here she is. So this is what she will look like when she's finished. I am obsessed with how this looks. I cannot wait. And then this is where she was the last time you saw her. And here she is. I did a lot of work in getting this stuff filled in. Because like I said last time, I really want to get all of this filled in so that then I can move the nerd down. And then I don't have to hopefully move it again. It's a little crooked, but I think that's just how I have the fabric in here. It's a little crooked. But yeah, so I've just kind of been going color by color from like this side and then working around, and then I'll fill the color in wherever it is down here. So you've got a little bit of the mushroom. I don't remember what that is. A little bit more of her skirt. But yeah, I am obsessed with this. I think this looks so good. This is on a 16 count Sandbar by Under the Sea Fabrics. I am obsessed with this fabric. I am still waiting for the second spool of this Cricut to come in. It is on back order, and so hopefully whenever it comes in, I will get it, and then I can finish the border, because I love finishing borders and then continuing on. But yeah, if you ever do this, make sure if you use the called for Cricut, or if you change it to a different Cricut, that you get 2 spools, because you need 2 spools. But yeah, here she is. I love her so much. I have started to become slightly obsessed with all things Alice, and you may continue to see more Alice stitching. Yeah. Next, we have the Polaroid Princess from Abbie Shoe Designs. This is what it will look like when it's finished. This was a stitch along back in 2023 that is no longer available. I think if you message her, you might be able to get it, but she doesn't sell any of her Disney patterns anymore online. Oh, one of these has come loose. That's okay. Alright, and so I finished Pocahontas. That, of course, she's got a cute little crease in it. There you go. This is Pocahontas. I love her so much. My goal is to get this finished this year. I think that's a really lofty goal, because most of these take me about a week, and I have a lot more to go. So, my hope is to get it done by the end of the year. My real goal is to get at least 1 Polaroid done for each video. So there she is, and I'll show you. This is what the whole thing looks like. As you can tell, I've got a bunch more Polaroids and princesses to do. But yeah, there she is. And I'm not going to show you before, because it was just Jasmine that you saw before. And yeah, I absolutely love this piece. She is a labor of love. Oh, and she is on a 14 count printed pink and lilac from Pudding Lane. And I always put in the description below what the pattern is, who the designer is, and what fabric it is on, because I am very terrible at remembering to tell you that during the video. So if you ever have any questions, always look in the description below, or you can shoot me a message or leave a comment. I love when you guys comment. It's so great to chat with all of you. But now, my next one, so I visited my sister last week, and so I didn't bring any of those stitches with me, because some of those are a little bigger, and it's harder when I'm at my sister's to do those big projects. So I brought some of my to-be designs. So this is Misery. It is a play based on the novel by Stephen King. And so, as you can tell, this is not done yet. This bottom part is where it says a play based on the novel by Stephen King. That's done. But this I just got ready for some good old fill in. So all of these letters will be filled in. I believe I'm using let me look, because it's right here. I am using 349 as the color, and this is just a 16 count white from the craft store. So yeah, whenever I have this finished, I will A, show you, and B, it will eventually be on my Etsy shop. But this play is only a 3-person play. I also did this show. It is a fantastic show. I love it. Definitely dark, definitely spooky, lots of blood. But that's Stephen King. What do you expect? So next was also another new start. Another one of my patterns. And let me move the Guard a little bit out of the way. And this is Spamalot. So as you can tell, hi Kaji. Hi, can I help you? Yes, that was my foot you licked. I love you. Oh, okay. I love you. Before, when I was starting to try to start filming, my dogs were being very cute, so I will put a cute little clip of them at the very... Yes. Okay. What? You're so cute. Okay. Where was I? I was saying, before I started filming, my dogs were being really cute and being very talkative. I have Alaskan Cleekeyes. They're basically baby huskies for life, and they have every aspect of a husky that you could imagine, just smaller. And I will put a couple little clips at the very end of this video because there is some dog barking in that. So I will put them at the very end if you care to see my dogs being really cute. But yeah, so this is Spamalot by Monty Python. And this is another one of my designs that eventually will be in my Etsy shop. As you can tell, I am just getting it ready for some fill-in. Because I have a couple things coming up that having fill-in would be really great. So yeah, there is that. Alright, let me put these two away because they both live. Oh, I made all of the grime guards you see. I made all of the stitch markers that you see. Those are all from Fangirl fibers. Let me move my needle from the back. Fangirl fibers. They're part of the Disney attractions club that I was part of. So I have 12 of them. So yeah. And all of my bags, I've shown them all in the past. They're Project Keepers. The pattern is from Tiger Lily Designz. I absolutely love this pattern. I have made many of these, and they hold almost all of my projects. I have various ones. If you care to see, you can go back and look at my previous videos, because I've shown them all in the past. So now, on to my next one, which also, if you follow me on Instagram and look at my stories, you would have seen this before. This is July for the 12 monthly minis by Primrose Cottage. This is on 16 count, Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, and I have successfully done all of the ones so far for the year. I started with February because I didn't have everything for January, so January will be the last one that I do in 2026. But yeah, so that is July, and July is done. Very excited about that. Also very proud that even being like on tour and working so much, that I have been able to keep up with that and do one every month in the month, which is great. I'm so proud of myself. And yeah, so that is all of my stitching. I did purchase a couple things, but I will show those to you when they come in. I did also get some DMC from Michael's because I had $15 in their rewards to spend and a couple coupons, so it made it actually worth it to buy the DMC. because oh my goodness, has it gotten expensive, and the price just keeps going up on DMC at Michael's. I already miss Joann's greatly. But with all of that, now it means that I am up until DMC 913, and I use the Pip and Chip bobbins with the Bisley drawer system. If you watch my Start With Me video for the Mad Tea Party, you can see all of that and how I keep my my floss and all of that in those drawers. But I'm up until 913 because I'm trying to get a full set, and I have all of them before that except for 610, because for some reason 610 seems to be the one that every single time I go to the store just to like get a bunch because I get a rewards, which is the only time I buy DMC unless it's for a project. I can never find 610, which is weird, which is not one of the like rare to find ones. Also with the Excel spreadsheet, he has all of the threads listed, including the like hard to find and the and like the satin ones and the light effect and all of the like discontinued ones. All of them are listed on there because I have from my Oma, which is where my floss like stash started, came from her, and so I have some of the ones that are like very much discontinued. But yeah, I am slowly getting my full set. One day I'll have it. I'm not too terribly far away. I still have a bunch in the like 3000s to get, but I'm getting there. I'm in no rush. I will use Michael's rewards to get all of them unless a project calls for it. Why not? Alright, and that is fully all for my stitching. So if that is all you come for, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. I would love if you could leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all of those YouTube-y things. I love to interact with you guys in the comments. It is so much fun. I love talking stitching with all of you because I don't have anybody like in my like real world life who cross stitches, so it's great to be able to like to talk to people about it that have just as much passion as I do. And so what we've got left of the video is I got some crochet stuff to show you. I've got the stuff that I made with my Cricut because my best friend is getting married, so we have our bachelorette party next week. So yeah, stay around if you want to hear my stuff, or you can skip to different parts, whatever you want. And with that, I will skip to my crochet now. So if you've been here before, you will have seen this project. It is the Milani Cardigan. I don't remember who it's by. This is what the cardigan will look like when it's done-ish. I use slightly different colors. I did use the recommended yarn for it though. And I have a tangle of mess here. Hold on. All the things. Great. I think the last time I was here, I was still working on the back panel, which is now complete. This is the back panel. She is all done. She is nice. She is long. Oh, the designer I will have also put up with the picture of the finished, the cardigan. But I love these colors. I am using, I have a mess in my bag of all of my stuff. I am obsessed with the Prim hooks, and I love them. They're my favorite. They don't work with all projects, but they work with most projects, so I do have some metal hooks. I don't know why this is in this bag because I don't need it for this project, but oh well. These are the colors that I'm using. They're from Hobie. It's the extra fine, or the Friends Extra Fine Superwashed Merino, I believe. I will put that information on the screen somewhere. But so previously I had the two front panels done already. And then, so while I was at my sister's, I finished both of the sleeves. So they're all done. You got like the ribbing here, which is super cute. I love a nice little like ribbing like this. So next my task is to take and attach it all. And then I do believe there's a pocket that I can make, which I definitely will make. And then ribbing along the like collar, and then some ribbing on the bottom, and I think then it will be done. I think. Still a lot to do, but I'm really loving the project. It's super fun. I love it so much. And I love the bag. As you can tell, obsessed with Nightmare Before Christmas and Sally. So after I got home, I have these pair of like cover up swim pants that I had made a while ago, and actually a little over a year ago now. This is what they looked like. The name of the pattern, the Universal Shell Bottoms, designed by Farah from 365 Crochet. And I also have a Ravelry, so I always have that linked down below if you care to look at any of the projects that I've made or some of the ones that I talk about. But so these are the pants. When I made these pants, I was absolutely obsessed with them. And as I wore them, they just kept like stretching and got longer and longer. And it's a bamboo yarn. It's the like Lion brand bamboo yarn. I'll put the name somewhere because I don't remember it. But so then when because I made that while I was on a contract in Florida, and so when I got home, I took and like washed it and like blocked it. I don't fully block things. Oh, one of my dogs farted and just stunk up the entire room. That's lovely. Great. Thanks, guys. Oh, do not inhale deeply. Nope. Alright. So they got even longer, and my family is going on a trip to Myrtle Beach next month, and I really want to be able to wear these. So I took it's a bottom up, so you start with the really adorable bottoms here, and it's like a cute little like bell bottom ish, and then you go from the bottom up, and then you do the waist. So I had to undo the entire waist section and then some of the leg, and then I got to the point where I start restitching again, and so I got to the point where I could reattach the legs again. So hopefully they will be a good length, because I also made them a little bit shorter with the anticipation that they will stretch, and like one leg is longer than the other, but they're the exact same number of stitches. So I'm going to also, one leg is significantly longer than the other. I will probably also wash this again before I leave to hopefully even that out, because I counted, they're the exact same number of stitches. Obviously one is probably tighter tension than the other, but hopefully washing it will solve that problem. I don't use pins or anything when I let them dry. I just kind of let it hang out, and this is in my bag that one of my actors gave me from Next to Normal. It says something next to normal will be okay. So there was that. I also undid another project that was another beach cover-up that I did not like because I felt like it looked like a sack of potatoes, and I did not like that. This is what it looked like. It was Big Twist Value, in like bright pink or something like that. So I will eventually probably make those like mesh sleeves kind of things out of it, with some of the yarn, and then I don't know what I'm doing with the rest of it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. So yeah. Yeah, I think that is all of the crochet that I had for you. Now we will move on to the books that I've read. So the last time I recorded, I was reading the 8th book in the Zodiac Academy series, Sorrow and Starlight. The Zodiac Academy series is by Caroline Peckham and Susanne Valenti? I don't know. Terrible at pronouncing names. Please don't like that. Please don't. So I finished the 8th book, and then I immediately started the 9th book, which is the last book in the series. To be honest, I don't 100% remember where the 8th book ended. But yeah. I'm just very ready to be done with this series. The 9th book is called Restless Starts. Don't get me wrong, I love this series. I'm very, very, very glad that I'm reading it. I'm very glad that my friend on tour got me into it. But you can't get it on the Nook. You can only read them on the Kindle, so that means I've been reading it on my iPad, and I just want to read on my Nook again. And the thing is, though, I'm going to read the couple of little, like, short stories that they've written as well, because they seem really cool and I want to read them. And I'll also read the first book as told from the boys' point of view, which seems super cool. So I'll read those eventually as well, after I'm done reading the 9th book. And if you have read that series, do you have any suggestions on what order I read those, like, in-between books and the, like, awakening from the boys' point of view? Part of me is tempted to go in backwards order. Part of me is tempted to start with the boys' point of view and then, like, move forward in the order of them. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, let me know if you've read the series before. One thing with the 9th book, what I have been waiting to happen for like 3-4 books now has finally happened. I'm not giving any spoilers, but I am so ecstatic that it finally happened. It makes me so happy. If you hear any licking, it's because my dog is licking my hand. So there's that, but like because I've read all of these back to back to back, you can tell that they have there's an order of events and like how it's written. So like you kind of anticipate how things are going to fall. But there's a couple things in this one that I'm just like waiting for the next shoe to drop. Things are way too good right now. I'm a little over halfway through the book. So I'm very excited to finish it because I can't wait to see how it ends. I really hope that, like, it's a happy ending, but I have absolutely no faith in these books giving us a happy ending. But yeah, so there's that. And while I was on Long Island, I did some thrifting. So I went to a couple of thrift stores because for my friend's wedding, she is, like, thrifting all of her plates, and so I've been looking at the different thrift stores for her, and I found a couple plates, and of course while I'm there I'm gonna look at the books. I didn't really find any cross-stitching ones. I think there's like 1 or 2, but they weren't ones that I wanted. But I found Stephen King books. Stephen King is going to be the only books that I will ever buy, because this is all of the shelf space. This goes to my ceiling as well. But like, obviously my shelves are full of my snow globe collection, particularly my, Macy's Day Parade ones. My other snow globes are other places in my room, but this shelf is the only shelf that I'm allowing myself to have for, like, books. My other shelf up there is my plays and my theater books. So, like, this is my Stephen King bookshelf. Along with, I have my couple of, like, Night Before Christmas books as well. The Sally ones that they've coming out. The Sally ones that they have come out with. But this is my Stephen King bookshelf, and this is all of the space that I have, so the only books that I will buy are Stephen King books. And he's been writing for so long that I figured, why would I buy brand new books? Why not just go to thrift stores and try to thrift them? Let's go through the books that I got. So I got Cujo, and, like, I know very little about some of these books, or, like, if I need to read other books before I read these books. If you know anything, or if you have any suggestions about which ones I should read when. I also own, let's see. I also own Lissy's Story, Under the Dome. And then, what is this one that's in my book sleeve that I had made? Oh, okay, I guess you're not going there yet. This is Mr. Mercedes. That's what this one is. Mr. Mercedes is in the sleeve because I know this is the next Stephen King book that I want to read. Before I read some of the others, put that back. So then we have End of Watch. We have The Drawing of the Three, which I think this is the second book in the Dark Tower series. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I should need to read the first book in the Dark Tower series before I read this one. I didn't, like I said, just kind of grabbed these at the thrift store. They had a whole bunch more, but I decided on these ones instead because I was like, I don't need a bajillion Stephen King books. I want them, but I don't need all of them right now. I got The Cycle of the Werewolf. And then I got Cell. And you can tell this is an old one, because look at the picture of him on the back. He's so much younger than, say, just the back of Cujo. But yeah, so these are all the Stephen King books that I have. They're all from Savers, 2 different Savers on Long Island. So they're all like $3-4. So I was like, why not? I love being able to spend less money than if I bought these new. And some of these I would have never picked up if I had, like, found them at the bookstore. But so yeah, I, as you can tell, have a slight obsession with Stephen King, which is kind of funny because growing up I was terrified of anything scary, and then I worked at a haunted house for 3 years, and then now nothing bothers me. But yeah, so that is all of the books. So I'm going to leave the sewing stuff for the like Cricut section of this video because they all had to do with each other. So we're gonna start with the stuff that I made for my best friend's baby. So we've got this cute little like jumpsuit. It says Daddy's Girl, Mommy's World. And then on the bottom, you've got, in like the little pockets, you've got a little silhouette of Daisy. And this is a little silhouette of Miss Marvel. the like original 1920s because my best friend's husband is obsessed with Marvel, and I asked him what his favorite female Marvel superhero was, and he said Miss Marvel, but not Captain Marvel, not the new Miss Marvel, but the original one from like the 20s. Of course, have to be more complicated and have to figure that out. But yeah, so there is this. I think it's super cute. Hopefully they'll like it. And then this cute little dress with a butterfly, a couple other little butterflies on it, just for fun because it's super cute and I am obsessed with butterflies, so I'm going to make her obsessed with butterflies. So that's what I made for them. Just gonna leave this here. And then one of my other friends that I know from college recently had a baby, and so I made her a couple of cute little things as well. We will start with the little Pooh Bear. Obviously, I did not make this Pooh Bear, but you can see little hints. I put her birth stats on it. So let me cover up the name. So her name is Ella, and so you get cute little ones on the feet, and then on the arms you got how much she weighed, and on the other arm how tall she was. So I can't wait to give this to her. I think it's gonna be super cute. I love making these little like birth stat dolls and like or stuffed animals, and this one has a rattle because it's a little baby bear. I love making these. I love making them special and unique for each of my friends that have had babies, and like each person has had a different stuffed animal unique to them, and so she gets a cute little Winnie the Pooh bear. And I have to hide this from my dog because he is obsessed with bears and keeps thinking that this is his, but it is not. So we're gonna put that up there. This is his bear. He likes to take the eyes off and the ears off, and I'm honestly surprised that this has lasted this long. But he literally walks around the house with this. Here you go. You can have it back. There you go. He, at the end, you'll see a cute little clip of him being a little, like, stalker over by the stairs with it just in his mouth. He will literally just sit with it in his mouth, which, since I gave it back to him, that's exactly what he's doing. It's just in his mouth. Or he will rest his head on it, one or the other. But so, back on track. Also, for, my friend's baby with the Pooh Bear, I have this cute onesie, and it says, "A little honey is here." And this matches the, birth announcement, onesie that I made, which I'll put here, that says, "A little honey is on the way." So there's that. And then, this was a 2-pack, so then I made this one as well. And this says, "Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart," which is a Winnie the Pooh quote. And I thought it was really cute and I really liked it. And then they are also, like, the nursery is, like, dinosaur themed. So had to make this, which is "RAR" means "I love you" in dinosaur, with a cute little dinosaur with a bow. And this also came with pants, so I put some dinosaurs on the knees. And this is some, like, stretch vinyl, so it should stretch without a problem. But yeah, just some cute little, like, custom things. I love doing this for people that I care about and I know will appreciate it. And I know she will appreciate it, especially since she wanted me to make some stuff for their birth announcement. I was one of the first people to know that they were pregnant, and it's just really special, and I really love making stuff for people who really care about the stuff that I make. It's one of my favorite things. And I recently got a new Cricut. I think I mentioned that in one of my early videos, because my other one was acting funny and weird, and so for Christmas my parents got me a new Cricut. So now I can make stuff, and a lot of stuff, very easily. So that's all the stuff for my friends' babies. Next we'll move on to the amount of stuff that I made for my best friend's bachelorette party, which is in Nashville. So we'll start with what I sewed. So I sewed some sashes, and then, so like this one says Team Bride. So all of these sashes I sewed myself with my sewing machine, and then I used my Cricut to put the vinyl on it. You've got the cute little cowboy boots because her theme is cowboys and cocktails. And then I'll show you, but each sash has a different cocktail on it, and it is to represent all of each person's favorite cocktails. So this one says Team Bride. This one says Bridesmaid. This one's mine. It's got the Bloody Mary on it. I love Bloody Marys. I also love margaritas, but my friend who's the bride wanted the margarita, so I took the Bloody Mary. This one, or no, one of my other friends wanted the margarita. She wanted the Moscow Mule. We'll get there. Bridesmaid with the margarita glass. Bridesmaid with the martini glass. And then we have the brides, which is a Moscow Mule. And so this is the second time that I have made sashes. I made sashes for my best friend who got married 2 summers ago. And so I feel like the ends I got a little better at. But yeah, that is all of the sashes, and I love how they turned out. They're going to be super fun. This is like a very light, like silky fabric, because we're going to be in Nashville and it's going to be hot. And this is actually a lining fabric that I got. This is the fabric that I got on tour from Joann's while they were going out of business. And it's a super light lining fabric because, again, we are going to be in Nashville in July. Well, end of July, beginning of August. And I was like, we're not doing cotton. Absolutely not. We're going to die. So this is like a very thin, light lining fabric, which has the first time I've actually worked with it, and it's very silky, very smooth. But not too terrible to sew. So there's that. Next, I'm gonna pause for a second. Alright, next we have the shirts that I made. So I didn't fully make this design. I took it based off of stuff that we found on Pinterest, but her theme for, I think I said, the theme for the bachelorette party is cowgirls and cocktails, and so got some cowboy boots with a cowboy hat, and her 2 favorite cocktails, which is Moscow Mules and margaritas. So this is one of the bridesmaids' shirts. And I always fold my stuff that has vinyl on it, like with the sleeves in instead of in half, which I usually fold everything in half. And then this is the bride's shirt. So she's got the green vinyl that kind of matches the shirts that all of us have. And her color for the wedding is like a eucalyptus green. So that is why everything is green. So then they don't know this. I did it as a surprise, but I made some koozies as well to match. So there you go. Just the same thing. I just changed up the cowboy boot and the silhouettes just a little bit so it would make it easier for me to cut and weed something much, much smaller. So there are a bunch of these. And then also, since we will be in the bars in Nashville downtown, I found these really cute bracelets from Hobby Lobby that says Bride Crew, and then obviously this one says Bride. And then I also found these keychains from Hobby Lobby as well that were on clearance. So I put stickers on them that say buy the bride a drink, and on the back is my friend's Venmo QR code. And then I also, so they came as keychains, but then I put a little lobster claw on them. So that you can take and I left these on just in case. But I will probably take it off, and then you can lobster claw it to the bracelet, and then you can wear the bracelet either with the little tag so that you're walking around being like, look, buy the bride a drink, give her some for her bachelorette party, or you can just wear the bracelet without it. I thought that was really cute so that you didn't always have to have this on a bracelet. Sorry about all of that clacking, but yeah. So I thought this was really cute. I'm really excited about these. We are going to be in Nashville for 3 days. Yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leave on Sunday. Yeah. 3 days. So I am very excited for that. I will be driving, so I don't have to worry about any of like trying to pack this in a suitcase, whatnot. Oh, and we had to get cowboy hats, obviously. And so for my friend, she obviously gets a white cowboy hat that I just put bride on. I looked at getting some of like the buying ones, and they were so expensive just for one that I said, I'm just going to take and do it myself because it will be cheaper, and I already had this vinyl. And so the reason that this is pink is because we have pink hats. The bridesmaids have pink hats. So yeah, I do believe that is all of the stuff that I made for her bachelorette party. I'm looking around. Yes, it is. I am very excited for that. I have actually been to Nashville 3 times in the last year, so this will be number 4. But this time not for work, for purely just fun. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, we're going to see a comedy show, and then we're doing a Chippendales show as well, and then just, walking around the streets, doing some shopping, obviously doing some drinking in those bars. I know some people who play in those bars, which I have to remember to text them. And yeah. So that's that. with a little bit of life in there too. Yeah, that's all of the cricketing stuff that I've been doing. I've done in the last couple of days. So that is why I have not been stitching for the last couple of days. I've been doing all of that, and by the time I'm done with all of that for the day, I'm just so exhausted. I don't want to stitch, I don't want to crochet, I didn't want to do anything. But then so that's a little bit of life. And then a little bit more of life. So after my friend's bachelorette party, I am going to Boston Comic-Con, which my friends that I made the baby stuff for, I am going with them, which is why I made all of this all at the same time, because as soon as I get back from the bachelorette party, I'm going to go visit my friends. And we are all dressing up as Sesame Street characters for Boston Comic-Con because their baby is obsessed with Elmo. And so I get to be Abbie, which is this one. And so I was like, I'm not wearing wings to a Comic-Con. Absolutely not. So instead, I took and put wings on the back of the shirt that I'm going to wear. And I have a blue tutu and everything. I'm sure when I get back from both Nashville and Boston Comic-Con, which I think is actually called Fan Expo, I will give you all of the details and show you some pictures. But this is the back. Yes, they're technically Tinkerbell wings, not Abbie's wings, but I already had these, like on my Cricut design studio, the design program you use for the Cricut. And so I figured I'm just gonna use that. Nobody's gonna know. Close enough, right? So that was the last thing I Cricketed. So now onto a little bit more of life. So like I said, last week I was at my sister's, just helping out a little bit. Got to see my niece and nephew, which I love. I love seeing them. They're so much fun. And my niece auditioned for the competition team at her new dance studio, and she found out she made one of the teams, so that was really great. My sister sent a video, and it was so cute. Watching her, she was so excited and started crying. I loved it. But so my sister also just got a pool, and so while I was there, she wanted this like palette thing, so I made this for her. I painted it, brought my old Cricut down because that's the one that I will travel with because it's still usable. I gotta look into like fixing it because it's the rubber wheels that like rotate with it and like are the whole reason that it rotates, that have just like expanded and they move around on the wheel, and it's just, so it's not great. I have to like basically babysit it as I cut. But so I brought that down, made that. I also fixed her diabetes bag because my niece has type 1 diabetes. She got diagnosed about a year ago. So I fixed the vinyl on that bag that she has, that has like her emergency like phone number on it, as well as it's the stuff that she... What is going on with my hair? It's the bag that she travels with that has all of her diabetes stuff on it. So it's very important that it has the correct phone number on it and looks correct and has her name on it. If you want to see that bag, I believe I posted it on my Instagram a while ago when I first made it. But yeah, I made that palette. Went to thrift stores, went to the mall, finally went to Lush again, got my massage bar that I loved on tour. And yeah, just kind of hung out. Like I said, that's when I did Misery and Spamalot. And yeah, that was that. Let's see. I'm just looking at my notes here. Oh, and that's when I did all of the crocheting. Doing the bachelorette party. Oh, like I said, my family is going to Myrtle Beach later this summer. So if you have any suggestions, we're driving down. So please leave them in the comments. Would love to know what are your must-dos in Myrtle Beach. What are your do not do's in Myrtle Beach? Is there any, like, cross-stitch or yarn stores that are nearby? Because maybe I can either convince my parents and my family to go with me, or I can steal the car and go by myself. But yeah, any suggestions for Myrtle Beach, let me know. Oh, I had another final little fun story for you all. So, as you can probably tell, I have a little obsession with Disney. And a while back, I'm sure if you are on social media or like Disney at all, you know that Bath & Body Works came out with princess collections. So, when that collection came out, I was on tour, and it took me a while to take and like make it to a Bath & Body Works to be able to smell the scents. And my mom had said that she would get me some of the candles because I love candles. I think they're like the greatest, but I'm very particular about my candles because they have to have a strong scent. Otherwise, I don't smell them. I have a terrible sense of smell. Always have. But so originally, I wanted Cinderella and Moana. Well, it took me so long to get to a Bath & Body Works that my mom had already, before I had texted her which ones I wanted, had already bought me the other three, which is Ariel, Jasmine, and Belle. So now I own all let's see if I can hold all of these at the same time. Let's see. So now I own all 5 of the Disney princess candles. I'm not mad about it. I just think it's really funny that the scents that I wanted were the scents that were not the ones that my mom loved the best. But so now I have all 5 and I can smell Disney princesses all the time. Yeah, I don't know what it was about like the Cinderella and the Moana ones. I think they were like the stronger scents, and I just really liked the notes of them the best. But yeah, now I own all 5 princess candles. And I'm not mad about it because I burned through these candles quite quickly. Let's see. They say that they have, they usually say, burns approximately 25 to 45 hours. Yeah. So I thought that was a cute little, like, fun fact and whatnot. All right. Thank you all for staying to the very end. I am so appreciative that you come and watch my videos and you care what I have to say about my cross-stitching and my other crafts. Today was a little bit of a longer one with some more crafts in there today. But I really appreciate you all watching my videos. I would love if you could give me a like. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought. Tell me if you have any suggestions for Myrtle Beach. Tell me if you have any like hints and tips for working with even weave. It's the first time I'm working with it, so I'm very excited. Always feel free to reach out to me on any of the social media platforms or leaving a comment. I love it all. And subscribe, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye. And now, like I promised, here is a couple little clips of my dogs when I first started trying to film them being very cute and not wanting me to talk to myself. Enjoy. Yes. What? Can I have a kiss? Thank you. Yes. Yes. Can I have a kiss? Thank you. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Stop pushing him out of the way. Come here. Come here. Kino. You have your baby. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. There. Okay. I love you, Kino. Yes, I do. I love you. I love you so much. Yeah. You're my precious baby boy. You gonna sit over there, Kaji? Being, a little creep? Huh? Huh? Is that your baby? You jealous that I'm petting Kino?